everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic time at the Brilliant Blue Challenge. My name is Gemma Connell, and I'm coming to you today from Ocean Generation. We are a UK charity, although we do work across the world when we can, usually through the power of the internet, just like this. We are a charity, as I say, but we're also an ocean conservation NGO. But our focus is on ocean education, and we work with young people just like you to talk about the threats that are facing our ocean, the solutions that have already been provided by some amazing minds from around the world, and how every single one of us can help protect our ocean. So I'm here to chat to you today very briefly about our idea of imperfect environmentalism. Now, I run something called the Wavemaker program at Ocean Generation, and that's what this talk kind of sits within. So we will learn a little bit today about what a Wavemaker is. So I'll come to that in a little moment, but first I'll just briefly introduce a little bit more about Ocean Generation and what we do. So we bring the ocean to everyone, everywhere by translating complex science into engaging content, programs, and practical actions. And the practical actions thing is really, really key here because we are all about positivity. We're all about what each person can do to help. And we are very, very solution focused. At Ocean Generation, we are changing the narrative. We don't do fear mongering, we don't do oversimplifications, and we're not here to guilt trip anyone. We really, really believe that everyone can do a little something to help our ocean. Now, why do we focus on our ocean? Well, as you'll hear from someone else in a little bit, the ocean is our planet's life support system. And every second breath you take comes from the ocean. So it's really, really important that we all protect our ocean. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier that I run something called the Wavemaker program at Ocean Generation. And you're probably wondering what on earth we mean by the word Wavemaker. Well, I've got a little video here that will hopefully introduce what we mean at Ocean Generation when we say Wavemaker.
It's time to dare to reimagine the world we want to live in. Brave young people like you and I. It's time to redefine our role as wavemakers. We are breaking down the science, celebrating stories of people making change on the front lines of climate, focusing on actionable solutions. Because we don't need a handful of people doing zero carbon and zero waste perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly. Become a wavemaker. Join the Ocean Generation.
So for us at Ocean Generation, a wavemaker is essentially someone who creates change. And that change can be as small or as big as that person, one, wants to make, but two, has the capacity and resources to make at that moment in time. We're all human beings, and we have different experiences in our lives and different circumstances. That means that we might be able to tackle some problems at one point and not at others. And the same goes for businesses and colleges and schools and organizations. So we're not going to beat ourselves up for not being able to completely change the world overnight. That's far too much pressure to put on one individual person. So for us, this idea of imperfect sustainability is really summed up in that video. We don't need just a handful of people doing sustainability perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly. Everything you can do to help really does make a difference to our ocean. And this is one of the inspirational quotes we start our workshops with at Ocean Generation. It comes from Malati Weerson, who is the founder of Bye Bye Plastic Bags in Bali. And this initiative kind of does what it says on the tin, as we say here in the UK. And that is, it's set out to rid the island of Bali of plastic bags, which of course are quite dangerous to our ocean. Malati set this up when she was just 12 years old, alongside her sister Isabel, who was just 10 at the time. So I think it's really appropriate that Malati says, no matter how old you are or where you come from, you can always lead by example. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait until you're older for someone else to make that path for you. Make your own path and go for it. And it really is this kind of mindset that we embody at Ocean Generation. Don't wait for someone to give you permission to go and create some amazing ideas to help protect our ocean. You have those ideas, and we'd love to hear more about them. The world needs more people with really creative ideas and solutions for our ocean and our environment. Now, I'm just going to take you through a few key messages that we have at Ocean Generation that we believe are really important to think about when it comes to protecting our ocean and seeing what we can all do to help. So, our ocean supports all life on Earth. It's home to thousands of plants and organisms, and yet scientists estimate that 91% of ocean species are still to be discovered. So there's still a lot more research to do and learn about these incredible creatures that could well be helping us in various different ways. Our ocean is also important in so many other ways, and you've heard me talk about a few of them, so maybe it's time for someone else's voice that you may well recognize.
The importance of the oceans. They provide us with more than half the oxygen we need. Every second breath you take comes from the oceans. They absorb much of the carbon dioxide we produce. They are an important source of protein for billions of people on the planet. Every drop of water, indeed everything we drink, has come from the oceans. The ocean is our life support system. If that system becomes dysfunctional, then all living things on this planet will suffer.
When you see Earth from space, you can see why it's called the blue planet. 71% of its surface is covered by the ocean, and the ocean is vital for all living things. Take 2 deep breaths. The oxygen that you took in one of those breaths came from the ocean. Did you know that there is no new water made on Earth? The same amount cycles around constantly, evaporating from the ocean to form clouds. Rain falls from these clouds as fresh water, which eventually returns to the ocean once more. This water cycle is a closed loop that has existed for billions of years. Most animals and plants need water to survive. Without the fresh water the ocean provides, life on land would not be able to exist. That includes humans. Our bodies are 60% water. Water that came from the ocean. Water is life. The well-being of the ocean is vital for life on Earth. Without a healthy marine environment, we won't have a healthy planet, and that will affect us all. Keeping our ocean healthy is an important challenge for our generation. We all need to get involved. For ourselves, our friends and family, and every living thing that we share our planet with.
So that's some messages around the importance of our ocean, but here's some other key messages too. So at Ocean Generation, we say ocean, not oceans. Now, I know I was taught at school the five world oceans: the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian, the Arctic, and the Southern Ocean. And whilst these are great labels to know where in the world we're talking about, at Ocean Generation, we simply prefer to refer to them as one ocean. And that is because what happens in one part of the ocean will affect the other parts too. So, as I mentioned, I'm talking to you now from the UK. And if our actions were to pollute the River Thames in the UK, this will impact the water in the Pacific Ocean. So, we say ocean, not oceans, in order to really highlight the interconnectedness of all our water systems. Another of our key messages at Ocean Generation is really around our impact. And I know that's where some of you will be trying to find some solutions as part of the Brilliant Blue Challenge. So here are the impacts that we see at Ocean Generation that are caused by human action. And you can, of course, get in touch with us to find out more about these. But we have climate change, pollution, coastal infrastructure development, resource extraction, and daily ocean use. So we're not saying these are the only ways that human beings impact the ocean, but they're certainly some of the big few. And I can't wait to see how some of you have maybe tackled some of these within the projects that you have been working on. However, it is, as we say at Ocean Generation, definitely not all doom and gloom. There absolutely is hope here. So I want to take a moment to finish and talk about our future and where you might fit within that. So the ocean is too big and too central to the planet's future to ignore. And at Ocean Generation, we certainly don't believe that the ocean is a victim. The human-induced threats to the ocean are huge, but the solutions that it provides are even greater. We must be inventors and explorers to unlock all the secrets of the ocean. And we're trying to bring people together from all walks of life to take action to stop all of the harmful practices that are damaging our ocean. Now, to talk just a little bit about where there might be hope here, I'm going to cast your minds back to the pandemic. Because actually during the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw something quite interesting. And that was that the ocean started to regenerate itself in that first lockdown, where lots of countries around the world were doing things very, very differently. So life came back to coral reefs, and we saw dolphins in estuaries that they hadn't been in years because there weren't any humans around. Now, don't get me wrong, we are absolutely not saying that we need more lockdowns. Definitely, definitely not. But it does go to show that the ocean does have the ability to heal itself. And maybe we just need to think about things a little bit differently. And that's where imperfect environmentalism comes in. How can we think about how we can do all of the amazing things that we have in our lives right now, but how can we do them in a way that is more friendly to our ocean, or more ocean intelligent, as we say here at Ocean Generation? And I know there's some fantastic people joining this competition who will be able to help us come up with some of those fabulous ideas. So that has been a very quick whistle-stop tour of the kinds of messages that we put across at Ocean Generation, including our key message of imperfect environmentalism. And I hope that's inspired you in some way. If you'd like to hear more about Ocean Generation, then please get in touch. Our email is on the screen now. That's youth@oceangeneration.org. And I want to say huge good luck to everybody taking part in this competition. And I can't wait to see the results of it. So thank you so much for having me today. And maybe I will meet some of you soon in some guise or other. Thank you very much.